ever.
Infinity.
Like, ever. I've seen maybe Jax in maybe some rank games in the lower tier, right? But not in this type of professional scene that we see Jax being played at. A lot of untraditional picks. And of course, before that even actually came up, I was looking at Kaisa Jana. Absolutely, and having to see it through and through. I think one of the two champions that are very strong when it comes to turrets being taken right now are Jax and Ziggs. And I think Galaxy RACER, you know what? You can have the Ziggs. You can ban it out. We're gonna pick up the Jax because we want those turrets. We want those golds in our pockets so that we can scale out. Considering you have the Corki, you have the Akali, they pretty much needs those gold. So Jax is gonna be the right answer when it comes to turrets.
For sure, I can imagine it later on to be a 1-3-1 at the sieging later on to the game if they do manage to sort of stabilize the early to mid game for GXR. But they do still have to be careful again towards NXP's duo, which is, you know, Juste and Chule. Again, these two players have already played together before in one team. I believe it was GH, which was, you know, Guardians Hive back in the day. Back in the day. so long ago. But yeah. But now, GXR trying to roam down map.
Absolutely, we're gonna have a fight into the top side jungle as we have Juste actually just diving in with the Sonic Wave, but that burn is not gonna place JC down. He has another thing to live and no kills will be done. But NXP Esports has another thing in mind. They just want the blue buff and they just want their cutter and they're gonna take it home. And that information is gonna be key when it comes to rotations for the jungler of GXR.
Yeah, and NXP sort of slowing that growth down from Spear because the fact that NXP created a little bit of action in the GXR jungle means to delay the growth of the Jax a little bit more. And for Icarus and Horizon, this is going to be an interesting matchup. We saw earlier how the Akali would usually have a hard time.
Uzi potentially gonna be stunned up. It's now gonna connect, and that is gonna be the first blood going to the side of GXR with a huge rotations coming in from Spear, and that alleviate the disadvantage of losing the blue buff and losing the Rift Cutter early into the matchup.
I love it because Uzi lost his flash earlier in the jungle engagement. So might as well take advantage of that time window and go through the dive.
Ooh, but we have another fight. It's now going to be GXR getting another kill. They're punishing the ADC time and time again. It's now Uzi having a 0-2-0. Might potentially get one more.
Spear?
But Jana is forced to back away. Galaxy RACER punished the ADC early on, and we never thought it through. But the trump card is actually putting them in a very good spot in the early game.
I love it. I love how GXR is moving right now. They're unfazed from the defeat from game number 1. They start from scratch. In the meantime, though, Juste has been farming all this time.
It's the stun activating to Juste. A star expansion actually trying to connect. Go for those synergies because Juste is still gonna be alive. We have Icarus going in for a blank kill, and Icarus stays alive, getting that kill onto Juste. And the jungler is now gonna be unavailable in terms of the roam to get the kill against Galaxy RACER. What a surprise! We talked about hidden trump cards. It's now gonna be super dominant in the early game. Now the Ocean Drake is gonna be alive. Now the resets are now coming through.
I would like to say that I appreciate that, okay, X-Spear will not farm the jungle, but he will try to farm champions instead. Already 0-0-3, almost done. Need one more core item for that Trinity Force. But they've managed to create so much impact as Juste decided to just farm the opposite jungle instead of trying to match where Spear is going to be, considering that they will lose their numbers advantage anyway, just because of how Aurelion Sol can just easily fly to the side lanes.
They said, you know what, leave the monsters, we're going straight to champions. But now, Galaxy RACER is now going to start onto the Dragon's Pit. It's going to be Uzi connecting his A long-range shot against the enemy team. Go to Glacial Fisher, actually knocking off Uzi, but we have the clearance going back into the sideline. We have Jax taking him down. It's Oriana taking the kill as well. It's down to 3-4-3 immediately right after. When you have NXP ESPORTS come up with a 5-man roam, they're dominating the arena. And that is back to a 3-4-3 with a 3k gold lead or 2k gold lead for the side of NXP.
Exactly. This is basic NXP play. So we're going to be a 5-man. They're going to execute it beautifully, and they will have no fear. Beautiful position of switching from their own river to the opposite side of the river. And therefore, it's hard for GXR to penetrate that back line. So good to watch. And that is going to be the potential problem from GXR. If they don't get ahead earlier into the game, they will have a hard time transitioning to the later stages of the game. We'll have to see how this pans out, because again, it's quite similar to the game #1 comp, where a lot of the champions could be starved. Okay.
Just a Sonic Wave onto a monster. You know, let's just chill down, Gax RACER, respecting Lee Sin in that fight. But you know what? What is not gonna happen is we have Draw actually going right through into the front lines of a fight. It's Ikaros. The flash away from Disaster was the wrong direction. But we have the Redemption actually going in for the delay, and that is gonna be HP. Just Chi is left at 1 HP remaining. Ikaros having the 1v1 fight against Uzi. We have the dash away, we have the blink away, but the movement speed of Uzi bringing him down. Corky though is jumping right through into the Rift Herald's pit, getting that kill once again. The Star Surge is coming right through. It's on a silver platter. It's now gonna be the stun. It's gonna be the kill. It's a 1-for-1, and that is it. As JC wants to go for more, Just Chi is looking for a safe retreat. It's gonna be the Sonic Wave, but that minion died at the last second, and there is no retreat for Just Chi. It was a 3-for-3.
It's a 3-for-3, and people want more apparently. It's I love it. From one kill to another, there is an exchange and such a prolonged fight there, such a prolonged skirmish, and at the end of the day, no one has secured the Rift Herald. But because of how early the game is still, death timers are fairly early, and therefore here we are again. It's a complete 5, and the Rift Herald is getting taken.
Absolutely, Star Surge is now gonna set up a play, but no stun is not gonna connect. It's Jax getting that kill onto the Rift Herald. It's now going to the 5v5. Janamoon soon disrupting the enemy team, going for some initiation, and Just Chi with the Stacy's delaying some fights, but we have more fights. Uzi going in for the Cajun win, and now it's gonna be upgraded, and that is gonna be the 4-man kill. JC has another need to live, but not gonna be for long, as we have Chule going in for the fight, for the blink. But JC, you know what? You're being too aggressive, because we're gonna back away for now, and I'm gonna live and going back for the retreat and buy some items.
JC is doing a lot of work here on this Aurelion Soul, but you know who else is making a huge impact? It is Chule's Oriana with what, a 4-man, 5-man Shockwave earlier in the river. I think that was such a huge turning point for that next play esports fight. I feel like it would have been a little bit stickier if that Shockwave did not connect, but was such well executed, and the positioning of Disaster as well on the monsoon near the river, connected to a Shockwave, but we'll have to see what GXR decides to do with this Rift Herald.
Absolutely gonna be the question. Rift Herald is gonna be spawned into the bottom side of the map. Tartarus Blood is not gonna connect onto the side of Galaxy RACER, as we have it melted down by the side of NXP. And now with the Glacial Fisher not connecting to anyone, we have Uzi coming in straight first into the fight. Lee Sin going for the Sonic Wave, connecting onto Braum. Braum goes down. It's Star Surge now going in for the response from Asol, but that is still gonna be melted down, as we have a Kali so squishy. NXP melts the HP down, and Moonsoon keep NXP alive in that fight, and they're back fresh from that engagement.
It was a 4v5. It was a 4v5 situation, as Horizon was actually just split pushing on top side. I just want to give props to Disaster there. Such a lot of, map awareness, just readied that tornado in case JC arrived in the scene, stopped the stun, and it just was so good. Like, it was such a very small play, but it gave a lot of leeway for NXP to be a little bit more safe in their retreat. NXP, really, really good right now. They have a 7k gold lead. They have all of the objectives except that steal from earlier. But looking good so far.
And that steal from earlier was actually quite negated by NXP immediately because that Rift Herald just had, 1 second to breathe air, fresh air from the Rift, but got melted down by NXP. And now NXP has the objective lead. They got 2 turrets from the Baron lane, from the Dragon lane. They got 2 Dragon buffs, the Mountain Drake and the Ocean Drake. And now they have 8k gold lead as well. So a lot is looking in favor for the side of NXP. Galaxy RACER needs to think, what is going to be our next step? It needs to be methodical. It needs to be systematical for Galaxy RACER to put up against NXP, who is really fed up right now.
Absolutely fed.
Hextech Ultimatum actually connects on Corki. We have the Glacial Pressure delaying the fight. And now NXP, so aggressive, they're diving under the turret. They're fighting heads first under the turret, and that is still gonna be the win for NXP, picking up 3 kills against Galaxy RACER. And now they're going for the Baron Nashor.
That means, yes, that is straight to the Baron. That is 3 members down. That means they can just use the other members to just throw away Spear.
1v2 type situation, but Horizon has the lead when it comes to damage. Baron Nashor is now going to be secured by NXP, and they're happy with it. They're going back. They want to go for a reset to then go for the pressures in all lanes.
Yeah, Baron has been secured for NXP. They can now work towards their way into closing the game. What can Galaxy RACER do? Possibly try to get a pick. Actually, a little bit difficult now at this point because everyone else, this is the point where they're always going to be grouped as 5s most of the time. And now they're on the chase. Is Just G hoping to get a kill onto JC? A 1v1 perhaps?
Ooh, Sonic Wave not gonna connect though, and Just G has no more mobility to actually come up to JC. And I like how JC did that. They cleared out the wave into the Dragon lane so they could delay the push coming in for the side of NXP ESPORTS. But NXP ESPORTS is saying, no, we're not yet done because we want kills, we want pressure, and we want the win. They're now jumping into pressure into the Dragon lane, the Baron lane, and into the mid lane as we have a 1v2 type of setup. Horizon is going ham against X-Spear in this fight. Akali is just clearing out the wave as X-Spear is actually going for the 1v1. But Horizon is just too tanky to delay the fight. We have Uzi though going for the killer instinct into the backside support. We have Just G jumping right through. Prom goes that. It's gonna be melted down in terms of the HP. Just G has still the GA to stay alive, and it enables him to go for the aggressive play.
Horizon single-handedly 1v2'd and a fight again.
Another fight. Luzon is gonna be cancelled, but I think that's not gonna stop Galaxy RACER for punishing NXP ESPORTS. They delayed the fight a bit, but NXP still has another wave coming right through into the inhibitor turret into the Dragon lane. They're not stopping. It's gonna be the shockwave onto JC, delaying the pressure against NXP ESPORTS. And look at just the amount of damage that truly gives the zoning capabilities enables NXP ESPORTS to secure 1 inhibitor turret and all tier 2 turrets rather against Galaxy RACER. Now they're sitting at a 17k gold lead.
That is such a huge lead, and just as you mentioned, Chule is just doing so much on this Orianna. A lot of huge and key shockwaves here when it comes to the team fights. And now, Infernal Drake has spawned. That could be their 3rd Drake of the game. A little bit difficult for Galaxy RACER to try and contest this one. Waves are definitely not in their favor, and a lot of the tier 1 turrets are still up, so they still need to work their way back into getting back out of the map, rather, as we can see that Horizon decides to 1v3 people under the tower, I suppose.
Oh, they're now jumping right through. Galaxy RACER actually wants to go for the contest, but we have NXP ESPORTS going to the mid lane. They want to scare the inhibitor turret, and Maple's probably actually get that. And Horizon is just delaying the fight because NXP is looking to finish the game. Is JC gonna go for the stasis? It's Glacial Fissure connecting to none as we have 2 map members. GXR stay put into the top lane. They're not going in to respond. We have Zimsdorf actually going in, trying to delay the fight, but we have NXP finishing the game, and they're winning the last series against Galaxy RACER.